Kai Havertz, his 12th of the season. We'll get to that in just a moment, but let's first welcome in Nedum Onuoha and Julien as we take a look at the table and how things stand. Arsenal having played a game more than Liverpool, but it is 6 points behind them, and Arteta's men sit second right now in the Premier League table. Welcome in, guys. Jules, we'll start with you. We need you to tell us why that match, even though it might not have been the most electric of games, was a very important one for Arsenal.
It's always important to win, especially after the Chelsea result of yesterday and the Nottingham Forest result, I guess, going over Arsenal in the table before tonight. I think the performance was quite disappointing to be fair. Overall, it was just very slow in transmissions, not much creativity. I think you felt already the miss of Saka, both for the team in Saka himself, but also for an Odegaard point of view, from a Timber point of view. Martinelli playing on the right-hand side, not the same bearings that he usually has on the left-hand side. So you could see why Arsenal were quite laborious in the way they played. But I guess the most important, especially at such a busy period, is to win the games.
Nedum, did you keep your eye on it the whole way through?
I didn't, but that was because there was another game on that felt a bit more exciting, but actually ended up having fewer goals. But I think Jules is right. The most important thing is just the fact that they got a win on the board. I think seeing Liverpool churning out some of these games and results and them almost being in a race by themselves, I think it's very important in front of your home fans to actually get the result. But what I would say in terms of the way that this game went in itself, I've been guilty of being in teams who are like this. Like, you could see Ipswich came and they had a defensive plan. They didn't really have as good an attacking plan. So as a consequence, you just deal with one side of the game. And it never makes it a good game, because essentially you're just going to be forcing the other team out wide. You're going to be getting balls into the box. You're going to be committed and so on. And as a consequence, the game is just never really that exciting. So to give Arsenal credit for being able to break down that low block, yes, they absolutely deserve it. But again, that's not a game that many of those Arsenal fans would have been looking forward to after that lovely Christmas dinner I'm sure they had a couple of days ago.
Yep, Stevie wasn't too over-enamoured with this game, it's fair to say. But I want to talk to you about Kai Havertz, because that was his 12th goal of the season. He has been criticised often on this show, Stevie. Does he deserve more praise than our panel have been giving him? Not all of our panel, some of them.
No, not all of them. Listen, I'm not a huge fan of Havertz. I don't think he's a centre-forward in a bona fide Premier League title-winning team. I don't think he's a bona fide midfielder either in a Premier League winning side. So I am not a huge fan of Havertz. Yes, he's got 12 goals. Yes, he got the all-important goal today. But I'm not so sure that Kai Havertz is the guy that's going to be the difference maker in winning the Premier League title. I just don't see it. He's a good player. He's not a great player. He works hard, but guess what? Working hard should be the first thing on your list. So, yes, he scored. It's an important goal, but I'm not a huge fan, no.
And he is first on the scorers list. Is Stevie wrong, Jules?
No, I hear Stevie's point. We've had this debate so many times on the show before with Craig as well and everybody else. Really, it depends what kind of number 9 you like. And for Mikel Arteta, he wants a number 9 that does a lot of things. So yes, he's not the most clinical of strikers and will never score 40 or 45 goals a season, but the way he presses and how differently you can use him in the air. He's got obviously a great left foot. He is a number 10 really in formation, but also at heart, but can play pretty much in a lot of different positions. So he brings a lot to this team, and Arteta doesn't want a 9 that just scores goals. He wants a 9 that can do a lot of different things. So for Arteta and his plan, whether the plan is right or not, this is not so much our problem. This is Arteta's plan, and for his plan and his style of football and his way of playing, an A9 like Kai Havertz fits really well within that jigsaw with all the different pieces in that puzzle. So I can understand why Arteta loves Kai Havertz. I can understand why Stevie is not too keen on it. I hear both sides of the debate. There's no problem.
Let's just get to the title race talk then, if we can, Nedum, because obviously we heard Jules mentioning what's gone before this game as well and why that has been an important win for Arsenal. Obviously, Liverpool are big favourites as it stands right now. As mentioned, Arsenal 6 points behind them. They've played a game more as well. Where are you standing right now on this Premier League title race and whether Arsenal actually are a threat to Liverpool this season?
I think obviously in the long term, maybe they could be a threat. But as you look at the teams right now, I think Liverpool far and away feel like the best team in there. I think those odds are there for a reason. The way that they sort of play against some of the sides lower down the table, you just don't have a belief that they're going to score. And not just one, it's going to be two, it's going to be three. I think defensively as well, overall, they've been pretty good. So I think when you have that sort of attacking potential, there's no game where you watch them play where you're concerned that maybe they won't be able to find a winner. You know, with the likes of Salah, who's the Premier League's top scorer now as well. You know, I've got a ton of belief in them. And I think for Liverpool fans themselves, they're right to be a little bit anxious, say, you know, it's such a long season because they faced disappointments before. But the pack that are chasing them right now don't feel as strong as, say, some of the packs and individual teams we've seen in years gone by. But again, to watch Liverpool play, it's a totally different, they just feel very different to other sides at this moment in time. And I don't know if the guys would agree. But yeah, it seems like it's going to be theirs unless there's significant injuries or like a major drop-off in form, which as it stands, I just don't see coming.
Go on.
Just to jump on, it's interesting that Nedum said the chasing pack. It doesn't feel like anybody's chasing Liverpool. It feels like everybody's hanging on to Liverpool's coattails, hoping that they mess up and that their job, particularly Arsenal, is to just stay in there just in case something goes wrong at Liverpool. It doesn't feel as though anybody's chasing. It doesn't feel like anybody's putting real pressure on Liverpool. It feels like everybody is pretty much just trying to hang on to Liverpool's coattails.
Is that how it feels from the Arsenal perspective for you, Jules, that you're just trying to hang on in there?
It's hard. I think we're almost halfway through the season and Liverpool have only lost one game. And that was a Forest game where straight after the international break, where I think Arne Slot should have rotated a bit more.
Yeah,
The old gremlins.
The old gremlins are at both of the internets today. There he is. Go on. Go ahead, Jules. No, I think he's still frozen. He's frozen in a funny picture as well there right now. Nedum's even having a little bit of a giggle inside there. It's an internal laugh. I can tell he can hold it. So you're not concerned, Stevie, that Arsenal could make a push at the moment? Like, how concerned would you be by this Arsenal team?
The only thing from a Liverpool point of view is you know that Arsenal are going to hang around in and around the second or third spot for the season. That's the only thing you know. And as I said, right now, it's about Liverpool's to lose. Liverpool, in my opinion, won't be looking over the shoulder. They were looking ahead. Who's next? Who can we beat next? Who have we got? Are we at home? Are we away? Who is it? Who is it that we're going to outplay and outscore and go and enjoy ourselves? It doesn't look like Liverpool are playing under any pressure whatsoever. It looks like Liverpool are enjoying going out, playing the football, scoring goals, big smiley faces, another 3 points on the board. That's what it looks and feels like for Liverpool. So I don't believe Liverpool are actually looking over the shoulder. As I said, it's up to the rest to at least stay where they are.
There you go. It's done and dusted, actually, Nedum. No chasing pack.
Oh, steady.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Stevie's right. You know, just cancel the season. Now we know he's won it. Just give him the trophy. Well, of course not. You know, we don't talk like that. We don't believe that to be the case at all. But I think the way he's described it is correct. Like, the teams who are behind them, they are waiting, thinking maybe there's going to be a mistake, maybe there's going to be a mistake. But for this Liverpool side, they are looking forward. Every team that they're playing against at the moment seems like they're enjoying themselves. They've had times maybe one or two players are out, suspended, injured or so on. But somebody comes in and does a great job. We saw Kelleher earlier in the season coming in to replace Alisson. He did a great job. And now Alisson's back. Okay, great. Well, there's a point when Alexander-Arnold was out. And then Conor Bradley was playing well. But now Alexander-Arnold is back. You know, soon it'll be Konate coming back into that back line as well, I imagine. So they look like they're in great shape. They've got a ton of players available. So they've got different sort of looks that they can give to a game. Do you start with Núñez? Do you start with Jota? Do you go Gakpo on the left? Do you go Luis Diaz? Do you play with a 9? Do you play with a false 9? These are all things that Slot has the ability to do right now. And as you look through that team, the vast majority of those players are playing well. And most importantly, as we look at this title race, in my opinion, those players have been in title races before, and a lot of them have felt the feeling of being successful. So for them, this is familiar, whereas for others, it seems like something that they're struggling with and sort of handling that pressure, as we saw yesterday with Chelsea.
Jules, we've got you back now. It's great to have you back as well. Just your final point here on Arsenal and how the title race is looking.
No, I was just saying, I think it's hard when you're chasing, whether you're close or far from the team in the lead, to see that they are just not giving you anything. Because I think you get encouragement by you see them dropping points and you think, okay, at any time they could drop points maybe, but the fact that Liverpool are almost halfway through the season with just one defeat in the league, and that's a defeat against Forest after the international break where maybe Slot should have rotated a little bit more. It's just a bit demoralising at times, I guess, when you see them flying every single weekend in the Premier League. So, yeah, of course, I think they will drop a few more points between now and the end of the season, but so will Arsenal and probably so will Chelsea and all the others as well. So I'm with Nedum. I find it hard to believe that between now and the end of the season, Liverpool could collapse completely and let everybody come back.